of the many secret weapons that us producers and mix engineers use constantly is parallel compression, which I've set up in Ableton here. Now this video is all about how to set up this on, well, actually you could use it on any channel or any group of instruments, but this is for use on the master bus. Just a really quick demo really. If you don't know much about parallel compression, this will give you a glimpse, and then you can apply it in lots of different ways to add lots of good vibes to your music. So anyway, cracking on with this video. Ableton Live, here is the loop that I've just made, cobbled together from random bits. I chose the drum groove because it's very, very snappy. So, and this is going to demonstrate the parallel compression best. And then I've chosen simple keyboard loop, and then a weird little noise from a sample. Some of them are being sent to Spatial Effects, and then then the drums and the keyboards are being sent to a room reverb. So what you do is you add on the master output, add an audio effect rack, which is in your audio effects, and then you go utilities, audio effect rack. There, you drag one down here. An empty one looks like this. Okay, and then you've got this little button here that opens it up, and then you create two chains. Create chain times two. Okay, that's the step one, and I've done that already here. The top chain, dry, no processing. That's just your audio going through, completely dry. And yes, you guessed it, the second chain is the compressed signal, which is what we're going to be using. So obviously, parallel compression, as you might have guessed from the name, is you've got your dry signal and then you've got a compressed signal in parallel. And then you blend the two. Actually, you don't need to use this chain technique that I'm going to show you. You can use these individual volumes here on the chain. So just to show you what it sounds like first, the dry signal at the top, no processing. And then on the bottom you can see the compression I've got set up there is really low threshold, really high ratio, really fast attack, really fast release. Completely being squashed like crazy, the orange line showing you the gain reduction. Now, when we turn both these chains on, you're going to get both the dry and the compressed. You're also getting a lot more volume. So the trick here, what we want to do is blend in the right amount of parallel compression. So this is what that sounds like. I'm just going to up this fader here. Quite like that amount. And so what you're getting is the dry signal retains all of its tone, all of its dynamics, and you're blending in a super compressed signal. And so you get all of the benefits of the compression, all of that extra stuff, all that extra energy that's brought up. It's brought up the room noise, the room sound, it's brought up the spatial effects, and it's just made the whole thing like a lot more powerful. Taking it out. The more you blend, the more kind of hype you get. Now, the thing with the chain, so in Ableton you've got this chain selector here, and you can either hide it or you can select it. And you've got to make sure that these boxes, the blue bit, is quite fiddly. The blue bit goes all the way over like this. This is the compressed signal, and then you go the top one, you do the same. Because then the chain selector here selects what you're hearing. It's a bit hard to explain. Now what I'm going to do is just the light blue line there, I'm going to grab that and move it. You can see that kind of like gradient there, that diagonal. Bit hard, you know, if you're seeing this for the first time, you need to translate it, but put both these signals at the same level, 0 dB. This is our chain control. When that is all the way to the left, you're getting no parallel compression because it's just selected the top one. And as I pull that across, it's blending in that bottom one. So you hear what I mean? That way you're not using the volume control, you're using another way of blending it. This is a really powerful tool once you get your head around what's going on, and if you wanted to see more advanced YouTube videos on the chain selector, They're all out there on YouTube, I should say. You can use it for lots of different things. You could have 4 different types of effect here, and then if you have the chain set up in a way where, say, like 0 to 24 is one effect, 24 to 56 is another, etc., you can then drag this chain into that range and it puts that effect on. It doesn't have to be a blend. It can be a complete straight change from one effect to the other. And if you could right click and go distribute ranges equally, now the first 0 to 64 is dry, 64 onwards is compressed, and let's hear what that sounds like. See? That's how the chain selector works. You're selecting which numerical range is going to be selecting which chain that you're using. So very cool. And you can there. So I probably over-explained this, but really that's something I have set up on pretty much every track. Anyway, that's it. Parallel compression, the chain selector, 2 things that you can learn about. Parallel compression is a whole thing in itself, so have fun going and finding out about it. And listen as your mixes become way more exciting.